While Buckingham Palace maintains its rigid doctrine of restraint back in London, a very different script is being written in Park City, Utah. Amidst thunderous cheers and calculated applause at the Sundance Film Festival, Meghan Markle took to the stage not merely as a producer, but wielding the full weight of the very title she once claimed was a burden. The appearance of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex at the second premiere of Cookie Queens was far more than a cinematic debut. It was a high-stakes branding exercise, executed with surgical precision. In her address, Meghan stated that she and Prince Harry feel proud and privileged to support the documentary via Arkwell Productions. However, royal observers were quick to note the jarring contrast. Meghan is utilizing the language of duty, privilege, support within a purely commercial Hollywood environment. Using a royal title to endorse a documentary about an $800 million cookie industry has reignited scorching questions regarding boundaries. Title versus transaction. Should a title from a 1,000-year-old institution be used as leverage for commercial ambitions in America? The documentary Cookie Queens follows young girls striving for the top in a cutthroat market. Yet, there is a profound irony in the title of the film being presented by a literal duchess. Analysts suggest that Harry and Meghan's roles as executive producers are a strategic attempt to rebrand themselves as changemakers. However, behind the applause lies a cold reality. The link between the Sussexes and the United Kingdom is thinning, held together only by the very labels they frequently critique in their memoirs and interviews. In London, senior royal officials are said to have noted the event with characteristic restraint. According to sources close to the household, Princess Anne's core principle remains the gold standard. The institution does not exist to serve individual narratives or commercial ventures. As Meghan basks in the Sundance spotlight, an invisible but unbreakable boundary is being reinforced. The palace will not comment, and they will not rebut, but they will also not endorse. To the crown, this is not service. It is a private business matter, a permanent departure from the axis of national responsibility. The breaking point. Legal experts sound alarm over Meghan's title mining. Is Harry now just a supporting act? While the cheers at Sundance were loud, the silence from the Duchy of Lancaster and the Lord Chamberlain's office is deafening. Legal analysts specializing in constitutional law are now raising a red flag over what they call title mining, the systematic extraction of commercial value from a state-bestowed honor. By framing a private production deal through the lens of a royal privilege, Meghan Markle has crossed a line that the late Queen Elizabeth II spent 70 years defending. The monarchy is an encumbered asset. The title Duchess is not a personal brand to be traded on the NASDAQ or used to sell $800 million cookie empires. It is a loan from the state. To use it in a commercial pitch is, in the eyes of traditionalists, a fundamental breach of the Sandringham Agreement. Perhaps more jarring than the use of the title is the visual and narrative shift in the Sussex power dynamic. In the halls of Park City, the man who was once a frontline soldier and a prince of the blood was seen standing in the shadow of his wife's executive ambition. Observers have noted a recurring pattern. The silent partner, Harry, the Duke of Sussex, increasingly appears as a supporting character in the Arkwell narrative. The loss of identity. Stripped of his military uniforms and his HRH style in official capacities, he is being repositioned as a Hollywood +1. The institutional risk. By allowing his royal heritage to be folded into a corporate executive producer credit, Harry is effectively consenting to the dilution of his own birthright for the sake of a streaming metric. The core of the issue lies in the conflict of interest. If Cookie Queens becomes a global hit, the profit flows to Arkwell, a private entity. Yet, the marketing relies on the prestige of the British monarchy. This creates a dangerous precedent. Liability by association. If a commercial venture endorsed by a duchess fails or faces litigation, does the shadow of that failure fall back on the king? The erosion of neutrality. If royal titles become synonymous with executive producers, the crown loses its status as a symbol above the fray and becomes just another competitor in the attention economy. As Meghan continues to command the stage with huge cheers, the internal guardians of the monarchy, led by the unwavering clarity of Princess Anne, are reportedly preparing for a future where the separation must be total. You cannot be half in the royal family when it suits the PR cycle and half out when it's time to collect the paycheck. The Cookie Queen's premiere may have been a success for Archewell's balance sheet, but for the House of Windsor, it marks another step toward a permanent legal divorce between the identity of the crown and the ambitions of the Sussexes. The Deep Dive, the Palace Freeze, and the Strategic Isolation of the Sussex Brand. 1. The Stonewalling Strategy, Silence as a Superweapon. In the world of royal diplomacy, a lack of reaction is often the most brutal punishment. Internal sources suggest that Buckingham Palace has established a strategic firewall around the Sundance event. The tacit repudiation. By issuing no congratulatory messages and offering zero official recognition for Cookie Queens, the palace is sending a crystal clear signal. This is not a royal achievement, it is a solitary commercial venture. The Anne Doctrine. Princess Anne is reportedly the architect of this systematic ignoring. Her philosophy is simple. If the institution reacts or protests, they inadvertently inflate the media value of the Sussex project. Therefore, London's silence is a calculated move to starve the oxygen from Harry and Meghan's PR fire. 2. The invisible downgrading of Prince Harry. A critical observation in recent appearances is the shifting status of Prince Harry. Once a prince of the blood and a global symbol of the British monarchy, he is being Hollywoodized into a secondary figure within a media empire led by Meghan. Airing soft power, while Meghan commanded the spotlight at Sundance with a polished speech, Harry appeared as the co-producer in the background. This shift suggests Harry is trading constitutional power, which is eternal, for celebrity influence, which is notoriously fickle. The loss of immunity. Standing under the lights as a private producer, Harry no longer enjoys the neutrality shield of the monarchy. Any future box office failure or critical backlash will now hit his personal reputation directly without the protective buffer of the palace press office. 3. The Cookie Queen's gamble, an $800 million branding risk. Aligning the Sussex name with an $800 million industry is a high-stakes attempt to prove the financial independence they promised when they stepped back. The title for profit trap. Legal experts warn that Meghan's emphasis on her proud and privileged status while promoting a commercial film could be the final straw for UK parliamentary discussions regarding the Titles Deprivation Act. The narrative paradox. They speak about navigating ambition and the collision of childhood and business in their film, yet critics argue they are conducting a business based entirely on the family roots they have spent years publicly attacking. 4. Conclusion. The point of no return. The Sundance appearance was not just a movie premiere, it was a declaration of financial independence that may have resulted in diplomatic bankruptcy. By leveraging their titles to capture Hollywood's attention, Harry and Meghan may win the short-term PR battle. However, they are simultaneously building a fortress of solitude in California. When the applause at Sundance eventually fades, what remains is a deepening chasm. On one side, the service of the crown, on the other, the self-interest of the Sussex brand.